Welcome to Ken's Corner Podcast, Season 4.
Hey everyone, it's Ken Judge from Ken's Corner Podcast, and I'm back with my now famous Leaf fan panel. We have Phil back to parts unknown. How you doing, Phil?
Good. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
We have a lot of exciting things to talk about here today, Phil, including after we do roll call. Maybe I don't know if you have them handy, but he has the jersey that we've had 28 donations come into Ken's Corner in a chance of getting this giveaway jersey, 34 Black Matthews captain jersey. Well, maybe I don't know if hopefully you have it closer. You can get to it real fast. George, all the way out in Calgary. How's your weather doing, George?
Freaking cold, but how's it going, guys?
Very good. George joined Joe and I the other day, and one of our conversations was, should we trade Mitch Marner? Because we all know Carolina came calling before they got that Mikko Rantanen deal done. So, George, we won't ask you that question again. We already know your answer to that. And Gord from Scarborough. Gordon, I know you've been feeling a little rough lately. Welcome back to the panel.
Well, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Got the flu there. Kind of kicked the crap out of me.
Yeah, it seems to be doing that to, I don't know about out in Calgary, but us Southern Ontario, we've been passing it around pretty good around here, that's for sure. Today here in Stouffville is another snowy day. So let's settle in for some hockey talk. And the first topic is not about the Leafs, but it is, I guess it's got its political outline to it with the Donald Trump tariffs that are coming to Canada. I don't know if you guys noticed. We're going to start with Phil. I'll give you all time to chime in on this. I'm sure you've heard about this. Ottawa fans, and I think even in Calgary, booing the American anthem. Phil, what do you think about that?
I don't like it. I don't like booing any national anthem. You know what I mean? There's American players on Canadian teams. They have nothing to do with Donald Trump and his decision-making policies and everything else. You know what I mean? I think that you're just embarrassing yourselves as a fan base by trying to take a political thing during a political stance during a sporting event.
Yeah, thank you. George, I know you're out there in Alberta and you must have been hearing this separation cry for I don't even know how long now. But how do you feel about the Calgary fans booing the American anthem during a hockey game?
I never seen it. I'm of course I don't watch Calgary Flames. I'm a Leaf fan, so I watch Leaf only. So there you go with that. I don't like it either, as Phil said. Booing the national anthem, yeah, it just makes you look like a dummy. So no, and yeah, the separation with this Danielle Smith, yap yap yap. It's getting a little old. I'm not a Danielle Smith fan anyways, so she can go hug up on Trump all she wants.
So you're moving back to Ontario if that ever happens, is what I'm hearing
This
from.
this this is the plan.
There you go. And Gord, I'm going to let you chime in as well. How do you feel that should that be left out of hockey?
Absolutely, it should be left out of hockey. Uh, Politics have nothing to do with the sporting event. Like Phil said, it makes you look stupid. The whole point of the national anthems are to be proud of your country. Whoever your top politician is, whether it's the goof Trump or in our case, Trudeau temporarily. And we'll leave that one alone because I'm not going there because that's going to start a wicked argument. But I personally don't think politics has anything to do with the sporting events. The national anthems are meant for a reason. Show your pride, whether you're Canadian, American, Swedish, wherever you're from. When that national anthem is playing, you're proud of your country. whether you are approve of your top politician or not, really has no bearing on the sporting event.
Thank you, Phil. George. We already spoke to you on this on Joe, our sports show. I'm already calling it the Ken and Joe Hockey Show, which is actually coming out soon. It's going to be streaming live at 6 o'clock on Saturdays, and those giveaway things that we're going to talk about again, we're going to give them away there. So, George, we already asked you about the sounds and actually the no sound of the lower bowl in Toronto, and you already gave your opinion on that. So we're gonna let Phil and Gord speak on this, on their feelings. Phil, we're gonna start with you. Do you find the lower bowl in Toronto overly quiet compared to? I mean, George is heading to a game just on Tuesday in Calgary, and I've been to a Calgary Leaf game in Calgary. It is not quiet there. It is not quiet in Edmonton. It's not quiet in Ottawa. What the heck is going on in our lower bowl in Toronto, Phil?
I quite frankly find it embarrassing. If you watched that game last night, hearing the Toronto fans chanting with the Oilers fans in that competition to see who's going to be heard, it's electric. The players notice it. The tempo of the game, like the atmosphere and everything in Toronto, it's actually quite embarrassing. I've been to a game down there and might have got into some wobbly pops. We started cheering, and we actually had an usher come over and ask us to please sit down and be quiet. Like, you've got to be kidding me. People have been threatened about getting kicked out for cheering too loud, and
Would have got kicked
it's
out.
it's ridiculous. Like, I
Yeah,
paid money to go there to support my team, and I'm gonna cheer on my team. That's what I do at every sporting event. And that's what I expect. And to be the atmosphere there is horrendous.
yeah, you're so right there. I actually seen on Curtis from Alberta, as we all know, with his own little trials and tribulations as a Leaf fan. But he was in the platinum section. He was saying with actually Mitch Marner's grandmother, they tried to get a "Go Leafs Go" chant started, and they were quietly, well, not quietly, but rudely asked to shut up. Like, who's telling Mitch Marner and Curtis from Alberta's from Alberta to shut up during a Leaf game? They're like, it's just nuts. Gord, we're going to let you chime in on this before we move on to that exciting game last night in Edmonton for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers.
It feels right. It's embarrassing. If you saw after Mitch Marner scored that goal 16 seconds into the third period last night, the Toronto fans absolutely erupted and were louder than the Edmonton fans were last night. You hear that here when we're here at home, the lower section is absolutely dead. It's like a pin could drop and you can hear it. It's the fact that the ushers and that have literally told people in the different sections to be quiet, not be as loud. If I'm paying for a seat that's costing me that amount of money, I think you should be louder than the people in the nosebleed sections, to be honest with you. Cheer the team on. I don't understand, and I've never
Is
understood that.
is this just happening in Toronto, guys? Like, is this
Yes.
happening
Oh yeah.
to other fan bases?
Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah. You
Yes. If
It's
you've
just
looked
happening in
around,
Toronto.
if you've gone around and looked at the different teams as they're playing, 95% of them, the lower bowl sections, are
Yeah.
louder than the nosebleed sections are in almost every arena except for Toronto.
It's corporate tickets for the lower bowl. It's all companies given to their people that spend their money on them. And yeah, it's tickets bought up by companies. And oh, we're respectful. Oh, be quiet. Be quiet. They should be holding quiet
I
signs.
was talking to somebody and they told me that they went to a Leaf game. They were sitting in the lower bowl, and a guy sitting beside them was trying to close a $4 million deal while he's entertaining
Wow.
somebody at the Leaf game. I get it. You know what I mean? Corporations, they have just as much right to the tickets as well. But
To
there's
give them away.
there's a place and a time. You know what I mean? Like I I don't go to their office to, you know what I mean, go and drink a beer and hang out. Like I go to the Leaf game to cheer on the Leaf game. If they're going to the Leaf game, I would hope that they're there to do the same thing. But they're
Well,
not. They're
MSLE, I hope you're hearing us or you're hearing other podcasts and newscasts like this because we can't be the only ones complaining about this and talking about this. How
Well,
about
they
restrict the number of tickets that these companies are selling and maybe we release a few more of those to the box office or maybe back off of those guys down there that are selling a couple of tickets and center your attention on big corporate, but I don't know, maybe it's some money. Anyway,
Ken,
we're going to move on a little bit from this before
Yeah.
it upsets me.
Ken, they were talking about it on Born in Kyprios. And
Yes.
Kyprios said playing here in Toronto is an honor, but for what they're doing in the lower bowl section right now is an absolute disgrace to everybody.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on and let's talk about that 4-3 Maple Leaf. Oh, damn. Almost went into overtime there. Thank God for that 12-0 offside call. And hey, John Klingberg did something he never did for us. He helped us with a goal. He helped us win, didn't he? I don't think he ever did that well. He actually played in Toronto. Uh, anyway, let's talk about George. We're going to let you first because I know we spoke about it. And if Joseph Woll stood on his head, or maybe he doesn't stand on his head, who knows? Maybe you're going to see Anthony Stolar, the return of him, Tuesday right there in Calgary, which I know brings a smile to your face. But with that save that Joseph Woll made, I don't know if it would have been counted as a goal because the
It
time
would
was
have been
right
counted.
there. It would have been close. But you count that as a save of the year. And now are you a little more at ease if Joseph Woll actually starts that game Tuesday?
Well, let me say something. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a Edmonton Oilers fan. He's an older man, and he said he asked me what would the score be, and I says, "Oh, I'm not jinxing myself. I'm not saying the score. Nope, not doing it." I says, "What do you think it's going to be?" And he came back at me as it's going to be a 4-3 Leafs win, and showed a crying emoji. I says, "Whoa, what happened? Why would you say that?" And he says, "Well, we just don't have the goalie." He says, "We just don't have the goalie that to back us up." And so he called it. It was a 4-3 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I won't mention his name. There might be a couple of mad people at him out there. But yeah, that's what he said. And that's what we got. The save of the year, I don't know if it would have been a goal before the light went off. But if it would have been a goal before the light went off, sure, it was a great save. And yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for Wolf standing on his head.
And Mitch Marner and Joseph Woll were quite pumped in that net. I hope to see way more of that down the stretch here and into the playoffs. Phil, I don't know if this is just me, and maybe I'm just getting sour in my older age, but I was watching that game last night and I was watching Sportsnet East. I swear I was. And I don't remember hearing much about the Leafs during that game. It's all about Edmonton, and we were winning the game. We actually beat Edmonton 2 out of 3. Let me rephrase that. The Stanley Cup favorites by many, 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 many professionals at the start of this year. We've actually beat them twice this year. Is that maddening to you that we couldn't, on our Ontario TVs, hear a little bit more about our players rather than, I don't know, Leon Draisaitl and that Corey Perry?
I get that they are not supposed to show any favoritism. And maybe we got spoiled a little bit back in the 90s and the early 2000s with the commentators that we had. But we had this conversation recently about Prime Video and listening to them when you're playing against an American team, only talk about the American team and how I think it was a Tampa Bay Lightning game. We listened to Kucherov the entire second period. They talked about Kucherov. I didn't even know that we were playing the game. I thought it was just Kucherov skating around the ice. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Last night, same thing. Whoever I think is favored to win the Stanley Cup in their eyes, I get Edmonton's a great team. They got great players,
No
but
goal.
so do we, and we won the game. We were winning the game 3-0, and I had to sit there and listen about how great McDavid and Draisaitl were.
Thank you. Gord, my question for you. What was the play of the game? Was it that callback goal, Craig Berube saving us? Was it Mitch Marner scoring that goal 18 seconds into the third period? Was it, oh, I don't know, Matthew Knies and that beautiful goal that he scored? Bobby McMahon, I don't know. I think he kind of matched him on his goal as well. The return of John Tavares, did that really help us? What was your favorite moment from that 4-3 victory? And how important was it for the Leafs to get that, by the way? We had lost 3 in a row. Would we be talking a different tune today if we didn't win that game last night?
We would be talking a different tune if they hadn't have won, honestly. Not so much in the way of it. Uh, I mean, you can pretty much pick any of them. That goal would have counted if Paul hadn't have made the save. I think there was like .2 seconds left when he shot the puck. Um, but honestly, with Tavares coming back, Nice coming back, these guys coming back, to be honest with you, my overall perspective of it, Ken, is it was just everybody coming back. They showed the Lions can go back to normal. They showed that they can actually score on the power play and can score more than 2 goals in a game. And I mean, other than the last minute breakdown of the game, it was pretty much Leafs dominated. And the fact that, yes, having to sit there and listen to all about McDavid, Draisaitl, Corey Perry, Bouchard, people that I don't care
I
about,
don't want to
not
hear
so
another
much.
Boosh bomb in my life.
And not so much in the way that I don't it's not just it's a Toronto game. We're up 3-0, and I'm hearing all about Bouchard and his bomb, how Corey Perry's a pain in the butt.
And how how
Nobody,
how terrible it is for us to be leading 3-0. Would they be singing the same
and
praise? Or
even
was
I
that a
mean,
discount?
even in the third period, they did it right after Mitch Marner scored. The commentators stopped talking when the crowd went wild,
Yeah,
and
they're
then we
one
heard
goal from
all
being
about.
one goal. And well, guess what? They didn't get that one goal.
Too
Okay,
bad Patches didn't punch out Corey Perry, anyways.
yeah. Hey George,
I
we're gonna start with you. We only got about 6 or 7 minutes here, so we're just going to do a little bit of a look forward to that Calgary Flame. Well, let's say this right. Toronto Maple Leafs and Calgary Flames hockey game. Let's go with our game time prediction, guys. George.
I'm gonna say a 5-2 game.
Okay.
Leafs win.
Gore, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna say 4-2, Toronto winning it for sure.
And Phil, who scores the winning goal and what's your game time prediction? Does Anthony Stolarz start? What's your prediction on that?
Well, I would love to see Stolarz start. I would love to see us win. Calgary has made some changes recently, and I don't know if they got any significantly better or not, but I think it'll be a pretty rough and tumble game with what's that guy's name? Lomberg in
Brian
Calgary.
Lomberg. He's from
He
Uxbridge.
likes he likes running around, freaking throwing his weight around. So we'll see if he gets himself into some trouble.
And Wolf might stand on his head a little bit over there. He's been doing good.
He's been playing really well as of
Well,
recently.
we now have the dreaded day-to-day injury of OEL. So just when we're almost back and healthy, almost
Yeah.
Kelly Yarncroc might be back right after the Four Nations. But Phil, what was your final score?
I don't know. Let's go 3-2 overtime.
And
Leafs.
do you have those jerseys handy?
I don't. They're upstairs, but I mean,
Okay.
I can run up there and get them.
All right. Well, no, we don't have that enough time to do that. But what I'll do is I'll have, you know what? We do have a couple of minutes. How quickly can you run up the stairs?
Well, not that quickly. Hang on, I'll be back. Don't time me.
There we go. So, George, do you think let's talk about Ryan Lomberg a little bit. Do you think the way he plays that maybe Steve Lorenz, former teammate, could just deal with that, or do we need to bring Ryan Reeves back in the lineup for this game?
Let's leave Reeves out for a bit, and let's go with Lorenz and Patches. See if we can make this guy settle down a bit. We still have McCabe back there. We still have Domi. He's a feisty guy. So let's leave it like that. I think we'll be all right.
Awesome. Phil, go ahead, please. There is the one that is 2 tickets away from being drawn.
Oh, nice.
And our next one up is the William Nylander Blue Leaf one.
Oh, nice.
So they're both extra larges. That one will have 25 numbers with $10 donations to Ken's Corner. Learned after the first one how to say it the right way. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm just going to go around the room real quick. Phil, do we make a trade anytime we see all these big trades? We even see in NBA Lukic Donovic for AD.
Anthony Davis.
That's like trading Matthews for McDavid, by the way, George. That's what that trade's like. And yet we still have no trades. Phil, will it be a trade before trade deadline? Just say yes or no. We'll go around the room. That's our last thing on the way out.
Yeah.
Gord.
Yes.
George.
Before trade deadline, yes.
Before, okay, one more time around. Before Four Nations, February the 12th. Phil.
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Well, I hope you're all wrong because I need something more to talk about. We need some excitement around here.
I think the
Okay,
trade will
guys.
come right after the Four Nations. That's
And let's not get our high hopes up.
Evaluate it.
Let's
Yeah.
as Toronto Maple Leafs fans, let's not get our high hopes up that we're going to get someone good because we never do. So let's just stay with what we got.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you back here. I hope you're all feeling well to be back again next week here live, recorded. Ken's Corner with the Leaf fan panel. Phil and parts unknown right now. George all the way out there in Calgary. Thank you for joining us. And Gord, downtown Scarborough, Scarberia. Thank you for coming on.
Have a good one, guys.
My
See
name
ya.
is Ken, and we're here on Ken's Corner Leaf fan panel. Go Leafs, go, guys.
Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.